It's bunker buster time. It doesn't mean you rhyme. You're cooking or a dime. It's bunker buster time. It's bunker buster time. You don't have to spend a dime. You're stuck at home with me. Let's make some food to eat. Hey everybody! I just made that up just right now, just off the time. Yeah, I have famous songs like this all the time, and the raccoon loves them. Hey guys, how you doing? It's day 14 for me. Adjust that just a little bit. Boop, there we go. Day 14 for me, and going a little stir crazy like everybody else, but trying to keep you entertained with daily things on my other channel. So if you'd like to see daily vlogs, they're on my other channel. I'll put a link down below. Itchy nose. Don't touch your face. But when you have a beard, like, stuff is there. And it's just me, so I'm washing my hands. Poodle. I'm here in the kitchen. I've got some stuff to cook. As you probably already saw in the title, I'm going to be making some Chile Verde. So I've got some pork, I've got some peppers, I've got some tomatillos. I don't have jalapenos, and I don't have cilantros, which are two key ingredients. But I've got coriander, which is going to help. And I've got some other stuff, so we're gonna do our best with what we've got in the pantry. It just happens to be that I got some peppers and tomatillos the other day when I was at the store, and of course we went to Costco and I got pork. So this is a good meal. It's hearty. It'll be good for everybody else. And since my mom is in the hospital, this is one of her favorites, so this is being dedicated again to her. Just trying to keep busy, feed ourselves good food, and whatever else. I'm calling this a bunker buster because we are making some trade outs for what we got in the cupboard. It's like a 1940s cake where you got no eggs. So anyway, all right, let's get started. This is a fairly easy recipe. I'm doing mine in the Instapot. You do not have to do yours in the Instapot. You can do it on a regular pot on the stove. It's just convenient for me because I can just set it and forget it. Now I can just set the temperature and walk away. You can also do this in a slow cooker. That'll work. The Instapot has that function as well, but I'm just going to do it so it's quick and easy and fast. But you can do it however you got. So you can do it in the backyard. You can do it camping style. It doesn't matter. The main point... Well, I guess the oven is at temperature now, so we're ready to go. All right, let's clean and prepare the vegetables. What we're going to do is we're going to clean them. We're going to pop them in the oven and roast them a little bit, get a little toastiness on there. Then we'll chop them up, put them in the pot with pork and spices. We'll cook it, and then, like we always do, it'll be the moment you've been waiting for, and we will eat those up. All right, you guys, let's get started. Bunker Buster recipe for day 14 of quarantine. All right, you guys, boop. Like anything else in life, I like it to be clean, so I like to wash my vegetables. We are going to be peeling these for the most part, but, you know, I like to make sure we're getting no dirt, funk, E. coli, etc., etc. And also with the tomatillos, they're a little weird and sticky, so I like to pull off the skin and whatever that is, and give them a little rinse because they got a weird stickiness to them. But we're in California, we try to conserve water, so... All right, we got everybody clean and shiny here, and so I just like to poke everybody once or twice just to let the steam out. We don't want any vegetables exploding. I just like to make sure that you can score it. Some people say you should score it if you want. It's easy. Just give it a little X on the bottom, or just a line, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I do want to make sure everybody gets a jab or two because we don't want anything exploding. All right, everything's been jabbed. Okay, so I'm going to put the peppers on the outside here a little bit so they get more of the heat, because those are the ones we really want to get roasted. And then I'm just going to try to get everything a little bit of space here. The reason you're roasting your vegetables is to bring more flavor, maybe get a little char, maybe caramelize up any natural sugars that are in there. There you go. All right, we're just going to pop that in the oven. I'm popping that in at about 400 degrees. Probably for about 30 minutes. I'll give it a check in 20. We're just going to roast it. We want to see some blistering. About halfway through, we're going to flip things over. So, all right, let's pop it in the oven. Oh, and I forgot the onion. So I'm just gonna cut this into pieces, into about 4 pieces, and pop that in the oven as well, so it can get some roasted flavors as well. And I'm going to cut off everything I don't want, just because when we bring it out of the oven it's going to be hot, and we can just pop it in. We can even take the root off because it doesn't need to be chopped up very much. So there's our onion. All right, let me pop that in the oven too. Okay guys, so this is a bunker buster recipe. You may do this a little bit different in your traditional Mexican cooking, but just know that we're cooking from the pantry, so I'm using things that I have on hand. So today I'm going to be using some not chicken bouillon. You can use fresh stock, you can use regular chicken. This is what I have on hand. Thank you, Allison, for providing these for testing. So I'm going to put about 3 of these cubes, these chicken bouillon cubes in here. We've got a lot of meat, we got a lot of sauce. Now, if you are salt conscious, remember that these do have quite a bit of salt in them. That's what makes them so tasty. And they do have a little bit of fat in them. So if you see there, they're a little squishy because they have fat in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those in there. And then I'm going to get this magic tool. And I'm going to put just a little bit of hot water to start melting those down, because I want to bloom my spices. Now, of course, if you're doing this on the stove, you can do it right on the heat, but since I'm doing it in Instapot, I just want to be able to put it on camera so you guys can see what's going on here. So I'm just chopping up the bouillon a little bit and getting that to melt out in the water. Not a big deal at all. I just don't want chunks of bouillon in our sauce while it's cooking, so if we can melt it now, all the better. Boom. Okay, so that's going. So now that we got our bouillon softening up in there, I'm just going to add our spices and herbs and everything for what we've got going on in the cupboard. So let's start out with, I've got a little bit of garlic here. Just a little bit. I got a giant Costco one here. So I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Can you have too much garlic? Not in my opinion. All right. And then this is just what I happen to have from a taste test. It is hatch chilies. It's already roasted. I wanted to use it up before it went bad. This is not spicy at all. It's just basically green chilies. What's in this? I don't even know. Green chilies, tomatillos, distilled water, vinegar, and cilantro. Now, the one thing I don't have is cilantro, so I wanted to use this so it gives a little bit of the cilantro flavor. So I'm going to put that in there just to use it up. All right. I'm going to put some bay leaf. This is my personal preference. If you don't like bay, I'm going to put 2. Mine are pretty strong because they are fresh. Not fresh, but you know, I picked them myself, so they're pretty new. And then we're bunker bustering this, so I'm going to use up a bunch of parsley that I have because it goes in the verde sauce. And again, I don't have any cilantro, so I'm just going to add that. So let's add about 4 tablespoons of dry parsley. And then I want to put a couple of tablespoons of Mexican style oregano. This adds a nice flavor, and also to the verde. So we'll do 2 heapings of that. I keep telling you how many it is of everything so I can remember when I write the recipe down. Okay, and then I'm gonna do about a half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. Now, normally I would put some jalapenos or serranos in here, but I don't have any, and so we're doing bunker buster. So I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of that just to give it a little bit of heat. That's not traditional, but it's what I have. And then, of course, my favorite spice, if you've been playing along at home, you know, is cumin. I love cumin. So I'm going to put 2 big tablespoons of cumin in there, and that is definitely what makes it smell like Mexican food. The last thing I need is some coriander, which is the ground seeds of the cilantro plant, and I'm going to put about 1 teaspoon of that. Now, it's not going to taste like cilantro in the traditional sense, but it will give us some flavor on there. So there you go. Okay, so there's all our spices and our bouillon, and everybody's blooming and playing in the party. Okay, I think that looks pretty darn good. So now we're just going to roast our vegetables, and when our vegetables are ready, we'll add those in there and the pork. It's that easy, you guys. All right, now that our vegetables are in the oven, we've got our spice mix. We've got our pork here. So we have some nice pork shoulder. This is country pork shoulder, as they call it. It's got some nice marbling, which is going to give it some fat. This is $15.50. $15.15 at Costco. And this is almost 5.5 pounds. So it is quite a bit of pork, but it is going to cook down. There's a lot of stuff in here that's going to cook down. You may not have this fresh. Maybe you have this in your freezer. This is a good cut of pork to always keep around in the freezer. You can make stuff out of it. So in that sense, it's a good bunker buster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the pork out of here. Boop. And I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces. And if I see any excess fat, I will take the excess fat off of it, because that looks pretty fatty to me there. So, and also it's easier to cut up now, so when you're serving it, it's just ready to go. So it doesn't have to be super small, but you know, about that size. It's probably going to cook down to about half that size. So just into chunks. And also remember that at the different breaks in the meat, that it will break down and fall apart there too. So, all right. And then I have our pot. I'm just setting it down here in the sink so that I can just boop, drop the meat right in there. All right. There you go. Here's a perfect example. That's just a lot of extra fat I don't need. If you want it, if you like the fat, you know, go for it. Just, to me, it just makes it extra greasy. All right, that's the sound of moving our vegetables around. There you go, guys. It's that easy. And I'll show you the pork. Porkinthepot.com. Okay, guys, it's been 30 minutes. Let's check on our vegetables. Ooh, it's starting to look good. We're getting a little roasty toasty. All right, I hear you. All right. We're getting a little roasty toasty. See a little charring there. Let's turn these over because that side's not even close. And that side's not even. You can see our onions are getting a little char. That's good. That's what we want. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Pop this back in the oven. I don't think we need to turn these over. They're doing just fine. And the onions are just fine. All right. We'll see you in a little bit more. All right, y'all. So here's where we're at. We've got some roasted. Okay. We got some roasty toasty going on here, and I think we're good for now. Everything is a little soft and cooked, and that is just fine. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this bowl here, and I'm going to take these. You can see they've got some nice color on them, got some nice char. I'm going to put these all in the bowl here, like this. This is a magic trick. Are you ready? Hot, steamy goodness. Put those in there. Then I'm going to take another bowl. You can use plastic wrap, you can use whatever, but I'm doing the eco-friendly bulb. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing here. All right, let's move this. Here you go. Now you can see. So we just got the peppers in there and put this on so it can steam. We're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes, and we'll let these other vegetables cool down as well, and then we'll do a little blending action in the blender. Okay, now you don't have to do this. I just like a smooth sauce, and I think it cooks even more evenly. So I like to make it a little complicated for myself. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take some of my tomatillos and put them in here, and a piece of roasted onion or two, and some more tomatillos, like so. And then we're just going to go for the old liquefaction. Put that on there. Boop. Look at that, nice and liquefied. That's the verde. There's the verde. There's the verdict. Verdict. Okay. And then I just have our pot of meat. Remember our pot of meat? I'm just going to pour it into our pot o' meat. It's like it's Irish. Pot o' meat. And then just like your shampoo, just gonna lather and rinse and repeat. There you go. Not rocket science, but definitely sauce. Alright, y'all remember our magic bowl of chilies. Magic bowl. So here's what I do. I just take these out of here, and I just want to pull out the stem. You see how easy that comes out? It's easy peasy. Throw it over there, and then open this up. It's a little warm, but you see, do you see how the skin is coming off of here? That is what we want. Just the, whatever will come off, like this. There we go. The waxy membrane. Waxy membrane. So you don't have to get crazy, but as much of that as you can take off, the better, I think, because it's just not nice in your mouth. Plenty of other things that are nice in your mouth. This is not one of them. As you can see. Okay, and then I like to flip it over, and then I just like to slice it open, and you can eat the seeds, but you don't need to. So why? Just scrape those out like that, and then give it a little cut. And we can put it right in the old magic bowl. Alright, and we're just going to repeat that for the other chilies. It's a little overstuffed, but let's see what happens. Maybe. And that's why I love the magic bullet. Ooh. Okay. Look at there. There's our sauce. There's our sauce. Make it a little brighter so you guys can see. There's our sauce. All right, so let's get the last of this in there. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit greener, a little bit more luscious. All right, get it all. Your abuelita would be happy. Get it all. Now, if you don't have fresh chilies, you could totally use the canned ones. So maybe that's what's in your Bunker Buster kit, which is different than my Bunker Buster kit. Okay, so we got it all in there, and now we're just going to give it a stir. We've got our spices in the bottom. We've got our chilies in the top. That's a bay leaf, if you see that. And you can see now why it's called verde. And if you didn't know Spanish, verde is green. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. Ooh, all right. Let's pop this in the old Instapot. We're going to do a 30-minute pressure cook with a natural release. So that is super easy. Okay, guys, here's our Instapot. We're just going to drop this baby in here like so. Doop. I think I'm going to add just a touch of water. I don't know. I'm feeling like it needs it. I'm sure it'll be a little bit wet when it comes out. But there you go. Give it one last stir. Because we don't want the burn function to come on. Nobody likes that. All right, there we go. Put the top on, like such. Give it a close. Make sure it's on sealing back here. And then we're just gonna put this on pressure cook, and we're gonna set it for 30 minutes. Where's the button? There it is. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to heat up. It's going to pressure cook for 30 minutes, and then we'll let the steam dissipate naturally. And so in about an hour, this will be ready. Again, you can do this on the stovetop. You can do it in the oven. You can do it however you want. This is just what I'm doing because it's easy for me. All right, bunker buster on. Okay, you guys, you know what they say about best laid plans. So yeah, I put this in the crock pot in the the Instapot, and I set it to do some pressure cooking for 4 hours, and it didn't have enough liquid in it, and that's totally fine. So what I did is I just switched over to the slow cooker mode, and this has been cooking for about 3.5 hours. So let's take a peek. Oh, look at that, you guys. That is exciting. Let's give it a little stir. Look at that. Look at that nice, rich sauce we have going there. And some meat chunks. So this is the time where you want to give your sauce a little check and check for the salt content. So let me give it a little taste and see where we're at here. Oh, mine's pretty good. So you may need to put a little bit of salt in yours. Or you may be doing a low salt diet. And that's totally fine. Okay, let me give you a little close-up here. How's that? Zoomity zoom. All right, let's serve some up in a bowl and give it a taste. All right, for our Bunker Buster Chile Verde. Ooh, guess what? It's dark outside. It's been a couple more hours than I anticipated. It's day 14. I just checked my hair and I'm looking a little woolly. That's just how it goes, because God knows when I'm going to get to the friseur, or the hairdresser, as you might say. It is the moment you've been waiting for. Woo! I know there's a lot of people out there that wait for that time to hear me sing that, so there you go. Okay, guys, so here's what happened. So I put it in the Instapot, and the Instapot likes to have a certain amount of liquid in order to work for the pressure cooking setting. No big deal. So I just cooked it conventional style in a slow cooker. I cooked it for about 3.5 hours, so the meat seems to be done and tender. It may take a little bit longer, it may take a little bit shorter. Just go with what you got going on. That's the whole point, right? And what do you got right now besides time? So, okay, so check it out. I got a bowl here. I got a bowl here. Let me cut away and show you what it looks up close. Boo! How good does that look, you guys? I am very excited to give this a taste. So we got our Bunker Buster Chile Verde. All right, let's give it a little closer look there. Focus for you. Ooh. And boo! We're back. Okay, so that's the bowl we got here. It looks great. It smells amazing. Now, I wish I had some cilantro in here, and I wish I had some pepper, but no big deal. So I did give this a little taste before because I wanted to check the salt level. So let's just taste the sauce to begin with. That's nice. So the onions have cooked down, the chilies have cooked down, all the spices have cooked out. It's really nice. Let me see if I can get a small bite of meat here so I don't have to look like a pig on camera, and so that I can actually chew it in front of you. So got a little bite here. Let's give the meat a taste. That is nice. So I think you can go a little bit longer, so I'm actually going to let mine cook a little bit more. It's a little chewy, but I like it to the point where it's kind of a pull apart. So it's definitely edible now, but I like to think it would be a little bit better if I cooked it a little bit more. It's up to you. If you're hungry, get in there and eat. You know what? I'm going to even have another bite. Also, you can serve it with corn chips like I'm doing here. So it makes a great little dip for the sauce for the chips. Or you got some tortillas over there. You can use corn or flour. It's up to you. If you wanted your sauce to be thicker, you could also take a corn tortilla or two, put it in the blender with just a little bit of water, and put it in here for about a half an hour, and it will thicken the sauce right up if you like that. So there you go. All right, you guys. I hope you're doing well. Day 14 for me. I just found out that Santa Cruz County, which is the county just north of ours, just extended their quarantine from April 30th to May 3rd. So a few extra days there. I have a feeling Monterey County, which is currently where I am, is going to extend theirs. So we're just in for the long haul, you guys, here. So it might as well be one that tastes good. So if you're having a hard time at, say, Costco or whatever else, finding products, you know what I do is I like to go to the little Mexican stores. There's quite a bit of them here in town, and they always have fresh produce and great prices. So that's a little hot tip for you there. They might even have some TP. So, all right, you guys, I'm Robert Jones. I hope you're doing well. Love and shout outs to everybody that's in their own bunker, from Bunker North, as we're calling it here. I hope you guys are well. I'm Robert Jones. This is Eudaemonius Mark II is my channel, and I hope you guys are well with this Bunker Buster. All right, you guys, take care.